Imagine opening YouTube and suddenly the music fades and slowly, the screen is dark, tension building, and then a voice begins to speak in a tone that instantly makes viewers stop scrolling. Army all around the world, you need to hear this right now. Something unexpected just happened, and the internet is already exploding. A Japanese musician, yes, someone from outside the K-pop industry, may have accidentally revealed something surprising about the voice of one of the most iconic singers in the world today. Are we talking about a simple compliment, or did he just expose a hidden truth behind the vocals of Jimin from BTS? Before we go any further, if you're watching on the Jikook Lover channel, make sure you hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you listen to Jimin's voice from this moment on. There's a pause after that line, the kind that makes viewers lean closer to the screen. Nothing dramatic has even been shown yet, and still the curiosity is already building. Because in the world of global fandoms, sometimes the biggest stories don't begin with a scandal or a headline. They begin with a tiny moment that no one expected to matter. And that's exactly how the story began. Not with a major announcement, not with a performance, not even with a new song release, but with a conversation. Late at night, when most people were casually scrolling through social media, a short video clip started circulating online. At first glance, it didn't look like something that would shake the internet. It showed a Japanese musician sitting in a relaxed studio setting, talking in what seemed like a normal interview about music trends in Asia. There was soft lighting, a calm atmosphere, a few laughs between the interviewer and the guest. The discussion moved through topics like vocal styles, modern production, and how the sound of pop music has evolved across countries. Nothing unusual. But then the conversation slowly drifted toward a topic that instantly caught attention: unique voices in modern pop music. The interviewer asked a question that sounded simple at first. If there's one singer whose voice you think is truly difficult to explain, who would it be? The musician paused for a second, and then he answered with one name: Jimin. At that moment, nothing dramatic seemed to happen. It sounded like a normal compliment, something artists often say about each other in interviews. But what happened next is what turned that quiet interview clip into a global discussion that nobody saw coming. The musician continued speaking, and the way he described Jimin's voice immediately stood out. He said that Jimin's vocal tone had something he called a rare emotional resonance that many singers try to achieve, but very few actually possess naturally. He explained that technically speaking, many vocalists can reach similar ranges or notes, but the feeling behind the sound, the texture, the way the voice carries emotion, that was something he believed was extremely uncommon. At first, fans who watched the video simply felt proud. After all, hearing praise from artists outside Korea often becomes a moment of celebration for global fandoms. But then the musician added another sentence, one that completely changed how people interpreted the clip. He mentioned that some producers in East Asia had discussed Jimin's vocal quality before, and that there was something about the structure of his voice that made it stand out even during raw recordings. That single statement was enough. Within hours, fans began replaying the video again and again. Did he just reveal something? Or was he simply describing artistic admiration? Translations of the clip began spreading across social media platforms almost instantly. People slowed down the footage, enhanced the audio, and compared different translated versions of what the musician said. And suddenly, a normal interview had turned into a mystery. Some fans believe the musician might have accidentally shared behind-the-scenes knowledge that isn't usually discussed publicly. Others argued that he was just speaking metaphorically about emotion in music, something that can easily be misunderstood once it spreads across languages and cultures. But the internet thrives on curiosity, and curiosity quickly turned into speculation. Soon, hashtags related to Jimin's voice began trending globally. Fans from different countries started posting their own theories, sharing old live performances, analyzing vocal runs, and pointing out moments where they felt Jimin's voice sounded especially unique or emotionally powerful. For many people, it felt like the world was suddenly rediscovering something they had noticed long ago. Because anyone who has followed BTS over the years knows that Jimin's vocal style has always sparked conversation. Some describe it as delicate yet intense. Others say it carries a kind of emotional fragility that makes listeners feel connected to the song on a deeper level. But now, with this unexpected comment from a Japanese musician, the discussion reached a completely new level. It wasn't just fans talking anymore. Music enthusiasts, vocal coaches, and even casual listeners started joining the conversation. Then something else happened that made the story grow even bigger. Another clip from the same interview surfaced online, one that most people hadn't noticed at first. In this part of the conversation, the musician mentioned hearing an early raw recording of Jimin's vocals years ago. According to him, that moment left a strong impression because the emotional delivery in the raw take felt even more intense than what ended up in the final produced version of the song. That line alone ignited a wave of new theories. Some fans wondered if he meant that studio processing sometimes softens the natural emotion of a voice. Others interpreted it as proof that Jimin's vocal ability might be even more impressive than what the public usually hears. And once again, the debate exploded. Forums filled with discussions. Reaction videos appeared everywhere. Music analysts began offering breakdowns of vocal color and tone. Meanwhile, the original interview continued gaining millions of views. Interestingly, one of the reasons the story became so viral is because nothing about it was confirmed as a reveal. There was no official statement saying a secret had actually been exposed. Yet the possibility alone was enough to capture the attention of fans around the world. People started asking questions like, what exactly did the musician mean? Was there truly something unusual about Jimin's voice structure? Or was it simply the emotional interpretation that made it feel unique? As hours turned into a full day of online discussions, the story began to evolve into something bigger than just one comment. It became a reflection of how deeply fans listen. Because when someone says a singer's voice carries something rare, people start revisiting every performance they've ever heard. Suddenly, old concerts feel different. Old recordings sound more meaningful. And fans begin to notice small details they might have overlooked before. That's exactly what happened here. Clips of Jimin's live vocals from different years began circulating again, with fans pointing out how his voice changed over time. Some said his tone matured significantly, while others believed his emotional delivery had always been his strongest signature. And interestingly, many fans said the same thing. That's exactly why we love his voice. But while fans celebrated, others continued to question the situation. Was the Japanese musician simply expressing admiration as an artist? Or did he unknowingly open a conversation about something usually discussed only among producers and industry insiders? As more translations of the interview surfaced, people realized that tone and interpretation played a big role. In some translations, his words sounded more technical. In others, they sounded purely emotional and poetic. And that uncertainty only made the mystery even more fascinating. Meanwhile, entertainment media outlets began covering the viral discussion. Headlines appeared describing the moment as an unexpected international recognition of Jimin's vocal uniqueness. But the real reason the story kept growing wasn't just because of the comment itself. It was because of what it represented. For years, fans have debated what makes certain voices unforgettable. Range, technique, tone, emotion, or something impossible to measure. And suddenly, a musician from another country seemed to echo what many fans had felt all along, that Jimin's voice has a quality that's hard to explain scientifically. But then again, maybe that's exactly what music is supposed to be. Something you feel more than you analyze. As the internet slowly began to calm down from the first wave of reactions, a new question started circulating among fans everywhere. What if the musician really didn't mean to reveal anything at all? What if he simply said out loud what many artists quietly think when they hear Jimin sing? Because sometimes, the most powerful moments in music happen not because of secrets, but because someone finally acknowledges what listeners have felt for years. Still, one thing is certain, the discussion isn't over. In fact, it might just be beginning. Because now fans around the world are listening again, more carefully than ever before. And the real question that continues to divide the fandom is this. Did that Japanese musician truly uncover a hidden truth about Jimin's voice, or did he accidentally spark the biggest global conversation about it that we've ever seen? And if someday the full story behind Jimin's vocal uniqueness is finally explained publicly, will fans accept it as fact, or will it create an even bigger debate across the entire K-pop world?